like, subscribe, press the bell icon for more updates. For more videos, download our app from Play Store. Faculty Diploma Program. Automation testing using Java Selenium.
So yes, good morning everyone. This is Siddhi from PHN Technology. So it's 10:10 already. So we will start the session of automation testing using Java plus Selenium. So I welcome all the faculties and esteemed guest, our trainer Nishikanta Patil ma'am. I request you to start the session, and I will be sending the attendance link soon in the chat box. So stay tuned also in the chat box, and I request everyone to pay attention to the session, and thank you for joining this session. Yes, ma'am. You can start the session now. Thank you for joining the session, and please share your basket of knowledge with us.
Yeah, thank you, Siddhi. So I welcome you all once again on to the Selenium session. This is the part 3 we are going through. Now, as I have already introduced you to in first two sessions, I'm not gonna introduce myself again. So I'll just thank you all the respected faculty members to being with us till now. For all the sessions, we will have one or two more sessions to go to understand completely the Selenium. So before starting, I'll just recap you all the things that we have learned or seen earlier. In the first session, basically we saw what is testing, like what is manual testing, what are the manual testing strategies industries are using, then how automation testing came in picture, what are the benefits over the manual testing of the automation testing, different tools that are being used in automation testing, and out of that the main tool that we are currently learning, which is open source and easy to learn, easy to understand, that is Selenium. Also we learn with Selenium what all things we can achieve, which type of frameworks we can create. In the second session we saw how to start with the actual coding when we learn the Selenium and Java. There we learn how to install Eclipse Java, along with that Maven, how to add the Maven dependencies. Also we learn what is the Maven. We see how to deal with the web pages, what everything lies on the web pages is what we call them, like web elements we have learned. We learn how to locate the web element. There are different strategies with that. The main locator strategy, that XPath, we learn how to locate the XPath. Also we learn different concepts that dealing with every part on the web page, like what classes and what strategies are being used. So for part 3 station, I'll start the presentation now. I'm going to make the video off so that like everyone has the good audio quality, so that no one faces the issue. Okay, so I'll start the presentation. So in today's session, we are going to see like what is TestNG, how we can install the TestNG in our Eclipse or Selenium framework. Along with that, we will see the what are the different annotations being used into the TestNG and how we can manipulate the test cases. Like when we have number of test cases, how we can manipulate the execution, like what we need to execute before, what we need to execute after, where the main testing logic will lies, the so that we are going to see through annotations. After that we will see how we can run all the test cases at the same time using XML files. So there we will see how to create the XML files, what all things lies in the XML files, and the execution along with that. Also we will see the TestNG grouping and parallel execution, that without the Selenium grid, how can we execute the test cases parallelly, and how can we make the segregation and grouping of the different test cases, and whenever we want to like what test cases we want to include in our execution, and what test cases we want to exclude from our execution, that we are going to see into the grouping. Also we will see how we can generate the reports using TestNG, and how we can customize using it in the listeners of the TestNG. So the listeners provide a strategy to customize your report and to like view it into the web browser. So that also we will see. And one important concept that we are going to learn today, that is page object model, that is like widely used strategy for creating the frameworks, so that like code is more crisp, readable, and like formatted manner. So that we are going to see. Along with that, till now, if you may have heard from my mouth like continuously that data. So we need, whenever we testing comes in picture, the data comes in picture. So whenever we need to do the testing, we need to have the data in place at the right place, and we need to read that data as well, and give as an input to the test cases. So how we can read the data written onto the files, and how we can inject it to the test cases. So for that, we have one plugin called Apache POI. So it is provided by basically Apache Foundation. So how to install that in our framework, along with that how we are going to use it, that we will see today. So let's get started. Okay, just give me a moment. Yeah, so TestNG is basically one of the most widely used open source testing framework used in automation testing. And TestNG is a very important framework when you are actually developing the framework from the scratch level. So you need to understand first that TestNG provides you full control over the test cases and execution of the test cases. Due to that reason, TestNG is also known as a testing framework. If you want to run the suppose there are A, B, C different type of test cases. If you want to run the test case A, before that, as a prerequisite, you need to run like uh, multiple test cases before you being like test case A. So you can set a map with the help of TestNG, so that request will run first, and only then the test case will trigger, like whatever required test case, only then record like when you have your prerequisites done. In such a way, you can control the way of execution of the test cases. Then TestNG framework comes after the JUnit, and the TestNG framework adds more powerful functionality, and it's basically easier to use. Again, it's a open source, and in TestNG, NG stands for the next generation, as it came like from the evolution of the JUnit, where the JUnit was the basic framework. So that is called as a next generation, and that's why the NG. Then the TestNG framework eliminates the limitation of the older framework by providing the powerful and flexible test cases with the help of easy annotations, grouping, sequencing, and the parameterization. So also all those things we can achieve with that. In the diagram, you can see on the left side we have all the Selenium code written. So we can say that that are all our test cases. So when we integrate our test cases with the TestNG, what all you can things achieve, those are given at the right side. So with that, you can have the data added to your test cases using the TestNG. So at the right top corner, we can see the XLS file, which are basically Excel files. And then in the middle section, you see the HTML report. So that we are going to actually see today, like what type of report it generates, like basic reports we are going to see. So whenever you execute test cases, instead of always looking at the console, it is passed or failed or the report. If we have multiple test cases, and if you are running it using the TestNG, we can see it from the HTML report as well, which are automatically gets generated in your like root folder itself. And then we with the TestNG, we can add the in between logs as well. So there is a one log4j concept provided. So if we integrate that with our framework, we can have the logs uh, added, so that your results become more powerful. So there is the scenario is like when we like see the bigger picture from the industry perspective. So there are a lot of test cases being run daily, and a lot of results also needs to be shared to the higher management. Like as a tester, we just can't execute it and keep it to ourselves. We have to present it like a feature wise, or at the end of the release, we always need to have the report that how many test cases we ran, and how many got passed, how many got failed, and out of that failed test cases, we need to raise the bugs. So to analyze the reports to a result, it's not always easy, like only by executing. We need to have the crisp and clear reports. So that's why the TestNG. And the basic features of the TestNG we are going to see the first, and then we will see the how to add TestNG in your framework. So the first and foremost reason is that annotations used in TestNG are very easy to understand than the previous framework, which was the JUnit. Also, it provides the HTML reports that I have already shown you. It also generates the logs. In TestNG, there is a no constraint available, such as at the rate before class or at the rate after class, which was present earlier. TestNG enables you to group the test cases easily, which is not possible in JUnit. So, as I already mentioned at the start of the introduction, that grouping is made easy with this. Along with that, TestNG supports more additional level annotations such as at the rate before suit, at the rate after suit. Those are also we are going to see what each annotation mean. And then at the rate before test, at the rate after test, everything is there. Then TestNG does not extend any class. The TestNG framework allows you to define the test cases where each test case is independent on the other test case. So there is a no dependency. So whenever the dependency comes in picture, there are chances that your suit or result suit fails. So that is also eliminated. It also allows you to run the test cases of the particular group. Let us consider the scenario where we have created two groups, that is smoke or the regression. So basically I'll first tell you what is the smoke and what is the regression. So the all the repetitive tasks we are as a tester we are doing on the daily basis, those are called as the regression test. So regression tests are basically we need to run whenever the developer adds a new feature, and we just need to check the previous functionality that is correct or not, like still working fine if the developer had added the changes. So those are the regression test cases. And the sanity or the smoke test cases are basically the important functionalities. Okay, so where we yeah, the smoke test cases are basically the important feature of the any application that has to be need to perform well whenever, even if the changes order or all the times it should be good to run. So if like regression suit is always a bigger suit that it has a lot of test cases, and smoke suit is a like a small suit which is only with the important functionality. So there the time comes like we want to only test the important functionalities, or there is a time like release has happened, we need to test everything from end to end point of view. So whenever we want to run the regression and whenever we want to run the smoke, so that is made easier by the TestNG, by the grouping facility that TestNG is providing. So that is possible. Then also the parallel execution is possible here. Only by adding one parameter into the XML file, we can have the parallel execution done with the TestNG. There is a no need of test grid. Without that, also we can do the parallel testing. So these all things are possible with the TestNG. So now we will see how we can install the TestNG into your Eclipse. So there are two methods basically, as we have seen into the earlier sessions from the Maven repositories as well. We can have the test and like any dependency added. So first we will see that uh, like if we go to this link of the Maven repositories, we can search here the TestNG dependency. So see the topmost result it is giving correctly to us. This is the TestNG dependency. So here we will have a lot of older as well as the newer versions of the dependency. So we can simply click on the recent dependency, what is there, and we can copy this. I have already copied it, so I'll I'll show you. And this needs to be added into the pom.xml. Always remember any dependency that we copy from the anywhere. So we need to add it to the into this pom.xml. So see here the I'll format it just. If you see, this is the latest TestNG dependency. So dependencies always have the group ID, artifact ID, version, and the scope. Scope is not compulsory, but like this is just for the understanding purpose. Okay, so once you add it here, always remember click on save. Always save this file, and then go to the project and build project. So you need to build it. If you don't build it, it will not have you added this dependency into the dependencies folder. So see, since the beginning I have always shown you that how to add the dependency. Last time we added the Selenium dependency, right? So accordingly it has added all the jars file related to the Selenium. So when I added the testng dependency, it added this testng jar as well. So it has all the things that we need when we deal with the testng. See, we have annotations, we have asserts. So we are going to see what are asserts as well into the today's session. See, we have logs. It also provides some of the things from the JUnit as well. So all the jar files, it will get added automatically just simply by clicking Control S and then building the project once again. So once we add it, so this is one way. Another way also I'll teach you. So we can go to help, like at the top corner there are options. You see, you go to help. Here Eclipse Marketplace, one option is there. So basically Eclipse Marketplace is like the shopping site for the Eclipse. We can say like everything what we need we can go and directly download from here. We search for the testng, click on the search, and then see, I have already installed testng for Eclipse, so it is showing the install. Otherwise it will have been the install button. So you click on the install, do the needfuls, and at the end of the installation it will ask you to restart the Eclipse. So you just need to restart the Eclipse and you will have again all the dependencies added. So what happens when we add the testng to the project, that now, earlier if you remember, we were creating the Java classes to create the test cases, but with this I'll just show you, like, okay, so you can right click, go to new. So here you see multiple options, like you can create Java project, maven project, simple project, you can create packages, you can create the class interfaces, everything. So even you can create the files as well. So here you can go to others, and then you see there are different options coming again. So what we want, you will see the testng here, like this file explorer format. You can click on there, you can click on the testng class, then the next. Here like see, source folder is already got, package name is got. You just need to add the name for the any test case. So we will simply add demo testng, and here all the annotations options are also given, like what annotations you need to add to your test cases. But currently I'm not adding any annotation. Those we are going to see into the other like further coding uh, options. Okay, so simply can click the finish. See, now in the part 2 package I have created one demo testng class. So it is already giving you the at the rate test annotation, it is already giving. See, so this is like we are going to see the annotations as well. So basically just understand whatever under the at the rate test annotations functions method is basically a you can consider as a main logic that is we are testing, like under at the rate test. Okay, so this way you can always create the testng class. And how can you run that? So simply if you right click, when you go to run as, now it is coming as a one testng test, if you see. Okay, earlier when we created the Java classes, so we have the browser test, we have seen it earlier, right? When you click right click run as, it shows the one Java application. But now with the testng, we are able to now directly run the testng classes. With this, what happens? It helps you to see the results into the like console in like formatted manner, along with here also like what you run and what you have executed. This is the older test case that also we are going to see. But this way in the explorer as well you see the reports also. There is a one folder gets created every time you run the testng test. So there is a one test folder called the test output. Inside that, different type of reports it gets generated. So there is a one report, emailable report.html, and the index.html. These two files are important. So I'll show you by viewing this as well once we run the actual test case as well. So this is all about the testng. let's like how to install and how to see. So next is, now we have seen the installation. Now we will see the annotations. Okay. So basically, the testng annotation is the piece of code which is inserted inside the program or the business logic used to control the flow of execution of the test methods. Basically, like flow of execution, but what are the methods? The which are all the test methods. Those are like controlled by the annotations. So annotations are always preceded by @symbol. So it's not only for the testng, but like even for the Java or other things as well. Like we sometimes use the annotations. Even for the WebDriver also we have the annotation. So those are always starts with @symbol. And these on the screen I am showing you few of the mainly use the annotations. So one by one we will see what everything does. So @test is, as I shown you into the Eclipse itself, that the main testing logic, all the verification points that we want to put in, that will be under the @tests, like where the @test annotation is written, inside that method the main testing logic will be written. Then @before suit, coming to the @before suit, the before suit annotated method will run before the execution of all the test method into the suite. So what is suite, that is also we are going to see. So for now consider it as a suite is a XML file which has all the test cases that you want to run. Okay, so before suite runs before the execution of all the test method into that suite. And after suite annotation, if we have used, so that method will run after all the execution of all the test method are running from that particular test suite. Okay, and before test, so before test method will be executed before the execution of all the test methods available into the classes. And after test, it will be like annotated method will be executed after the execution of all the methods of available classes belonging after to that folder. Okay, then before class. So everyone, like every annotation has a name meaning according to the name given to it itself. So before class annotated method will be executed before the first method of the current class, and after class will run the last method of the current class. And before method will be executed before each test method will be run. Suppose there is a one class and there are 10 test methods we have written, and there is one before method. So before method will run before every test, like all tests before, like executing before every test annotations method. Before that, every time it will run. And after method, method will run after the execution of each test method. So this is accordingly before and after. Along with that, like yes, before group, after group, those are also there. Out of that, few of them we are going to see today. And there are some benefits of using the annotations that are like, it makes the life of testers very easy. Based on your requirement, you can access the test method, that is, it has a predefined pattern on format we can define from it. So that's why you can also pass the additional parameters to the test engine annotations. Yes, so we can pass the parameters as well. That is also we will see. In the case of test engine annotations, you need not to extend any test class. You can directly use the annotation inside your class. There is no extension or implementation of any interface or class is not needed. So test engine annotations are very strongly typed, so that is errors are detected at the compile time itself. So if there are any errors, it shows before the execution itself. Okay, now yeah, we will see how to write the test case in testng. So actually I have already shown you like how you can start using the test case. Like you just need to like where you want to create, right click, create the testng class, and it gives you that the test annotated method. And after that you will have yeah, you can add your logics there. And yeah, and also have showed you how to run it as well. Now there are some points to consider from it. If you see, like whenever we creating the Java class file, it was giving you the main function, like which is into this browser test, like public static void main. So this is not required basically when you deal with the test ng. Also, at the rate test is used to tell the method that the test case is under that I already shown you. The main logic of testing will be under the at the rate test. Now this package also got imported whenever we added this test or created with the test ng. And then we can have the report so that we know the verifications operations into the test ng. So first we will see one test case, which is a very basic actually inside the test ng. Okay, first test ng test we will see. So it's a very simple test case that we have already seen, when we wrote our first program, but just as it is created with the test ng, so that's why it has at the rate test annotation and it don't have the main method. So here also we are initializing first the Chrome browser that we are going to use. We are telling the test script that we are going to use the Chrome browser for the execution. Then I am launching the Google. I am and I am like comparing the title. So here I am expecting the title to be Google, and I am trying to get the title from the WebDriver, and then I'm comparing. So first we will see this way, like by using the if else. There is another way also that TestNG provides, so that we will see after that. So first I'll run this. Okay, so it launched, it verified, and it like pasted you that title is correct. So now I'll show you how the reports are generated. So now in the console itself, you will see there was one test, first test ng, whose name is the browser test, which was ran, and we can see the report as well. So every time like whenever you run the test case, the report gets updated. There are way that you can store the report as well, but currently we are like just overriding it like every time we run it. So if you go to this emulable report.html, go to this open with and do the open with web browser. See, so this is the more readable format of the report. Like, so this is still a very auto generated or basic report. You can manipulate it to at any extent. Like, you can even add on failure the screenshots to report as well. So there was one test case, how much time it has taken, how many test cases passed, how many skipped, how many retarded, failed, everything the count it shows. Like within 4205 millisecond test case got completed. There were any included or excluded groups were there or not. So, and what package, inside which package it was, what is the name of test case, everything it is given here. Also, along with this report, there is one another file, index.html. So this also you can open with the web browser. So this also gives you some sort of reporting. You can see the chronological view as well. So currently we have only single method, so we are not able to understand this view. But when we have multiple tests inside that, we will understand the importance of it. So in the result, it is also showing we have one method and which is passed as well. So this is the basic reporting. Now uh, I don't want to use if else. I want to verify using the test ng. So I'll just comment this. Now I want to, there is one class called assert class which is provided by test ng itself. So suppose, see, it is me giving me the option to import the test ng assert class, and I'll do assert equal. So I want to compare this expected title and actual title, which are in form of string. So assert equal, inside that I need to find the method which compares to string. So if you see here a lot of options coming, you can do assert equal with the boolean. You can compare the byte, you can compare the characters, you can compare double, float, everything that is there in Java. So you can compare accordingly. So I want the string, so I'll come to string and see assert dot assert equal. You can like compare string actual versus string expected, like what you are expecting is correct or not. Okay, so if I add this, what is my expected title and what is my actual title that I want to compare. Okay, along with that I can give the message as well here, title is correct, in the same line. I was earlier giving like if else loop and said that I'm trying to print, right? So here you don't need the system.out.println line as well. So now if I run it as, see it got run, browser test, and we'll see the report. Okay, so it is passed again, and whatever all the details that I've shown you earlier is there. Same with the index.html. So the report is still same. See, also the time and everything you can see in this format as well. Report is similar, but just it made your job easier. Like you don't need to, like, this is very simple. So you are using the if else. Otherwise, you have to do the complex operations as well. So that time it is really easy to have and use a cert statements. And it was like every time you don't need for the, in the every test we need to always add the verifications point. So every time you can't use the if else loop and show it in the report. So with these statements our job is basically made easier. Okay, so this is our first test ng test case. Now further, like what, how to write and run the test case that you have seen, you just simply right click and run as the test ng. Now we will see like what is the xml files and how can we run the test cases with the xml files. Because see, till now we had single test cases, so we could run it from that test class or test file itself. But now if you want to execute the multiple test cases at the same time, how can you do that? So that we are going to see. So xml is basically if extensible markup language. It is not only with the automation testing, it is being used everywhere. And that we can create into our maven framework. And the testng xml file starts with this base tag that is called suit. Inside that we have the test, and inside test we have the classes with the all the names of our test classes. Okay, and the first two lines you see here, those are basically versions and the information of that document, that file, whatever it is the latest version is. And whatever it is that is like auto generated or like basic like identification that this is the xml file. And along with that these all tags, and every tag that we open that should be always closed. So if you see this is the suit tag started here, we have closed it here. So inside suit everything lies, we have made sure. Along with that the second important tag is at the rate test. So sorry, test tag. So test tag is closing here, and inside test all the classes will lie, that the, and inside the classes the single class will lie. And this class has been closed at the same line. You can close at the next line as well, but we have closed in the same line to make the code crisp. Okay, so this is all about the tag and xml file. So now how can we create the xml file is like, basically you just go, this is our project, right? Selenium Prover, right click, a new, create file. Okay, now I am giving some name, demo.xml. Okay, finish. But currently this file don't know, right, what type of file it is. So I'll just simply copy these lines. Oh, that, so that it knows that it is a XML file. Okay, so the error is also gone. So inside this we will first have suit. Inside that we will have test. See, it is giving me a lot of options basically, but like, so all those options TestNG can provide. Inside that we have classes, and inside that we have class. So I'm just currently showing you like how can you add the, and I am formatting it. See, so this is the demo file, and here you can put the class name as well. Currently it is not required, just for showing purpose I am giving you. And for the suit name and test name, you can give the any like name. It's not like what you have to like give it from the any class or anything. So it could be anything. This is my first suit, I can say. And test, so what type of test I have browser tests. This is any name, and then the class name. So here class name you have to give it from the like package name, and then the class name. You can directly, suppose if you want to run this first test ng test, so it's not possible to like directly give the name. Here you have to first add the test ng, what is the package of that, and then inside that I can write by whatever my first test case is like. So likewise this becomes your test suite. So currently I don't require it, I'm just saving and closing it. Okay, uh, now I will show you like we will see in the next part how can we run using the XML files, so how we can run the multiple test cases or the single test cases as well. So coming to the next slide, as we have already seen, suppose if we have the multiple test cases inside one test class, and we are writing all of them with the @test annotation, those are basically run into the way that alphabetical order, like along with the method name that you have given. So suppose I have method A, method B, and method C, and I have given them @test annotation. So it will execute first, it will execute the A, then B, and then C. Now if I want to manipulate the execution, like always we can't give ABC name. We have names like browser test, we have names like title test, we have names like login test. So this way, if you want to manipulate the execution, you can give the priority to the test cases as well. So whenever we write and test annotation, you can give the priority 0, 1, 2, 3, like any kind of priority you can give. So 0 being the like like first priority, and like fifth, like if we are giving 0 to 5, fifth being the least priority we can consider. And where we have given the 0, that will execute first, and then it will go to till fifth. Also parameterization is possible with the multiple parameters giving. So here like we have given another, there is always run which is true, so we want to always run it, like we don't want to skip it. So such type of facilities also provided by test engine. 2 or 3, any number of parameters you can give here, and those are separated by comma basically. Now we will see like different test cases, like different files where I have written the test cases like that. So we have seen the first. Now we will see the multiple test. Like as said, there are three methods I have. One I have is the browser test. One is enabled, button enabled. I am just checking. There is a one button on the page, and then one is a search test. Okay, so we have three tests, and every test has @test annotation. Now you see. Okay, so also I'll tell you what all things we are doing here. So first, at the start of the class itself, I have like which base URL I want to use, and driver path and web driver. And now in this class I have defined it using the variable before itself, the global variables. Earlier we were giving inside the test method, but now I have just changed the format. And now the first browser test, what it is doing, it is setting the properties, then launching the URL, and verifying the title. In the next is button enabled thing, I am just checking the search button is enabled or not, and that is also and in every test I am added the I have added the assert statement as well. So here I am just verifying. Here I am writing the assert.assert2. So it is true or not, that I am checking. And then okay, it got executed. I just clicked on this method, it got executed. We will run fully though. Okay, and now into the third one, I am searching the text into the search box on the Google and just executing. So now if I run this, okay, so now you see the report. So test run 3, failure 0, script 0, and chronological view is like that. Inside this, we had the 3 test methods. Everything got passed at what time, that is also giving. Same will be available with the emailable report as well. See, so when you see the multiple test cases, the reports are being more clearer, right? With the single one it was not much clear. So it is giving everything to you, like past test cases, skip test cases again. So if we have failure, we would have got the count here. So what all test cases what got passed or failed. Now what we were saying is like, whenever we have the add only at the rate test annotation given, the execution is by this. It is checking the method names, test method names, and accordingly it is running uh, in the alphabetical order. Suppose if I like is enabled co, if I write the z here, okay. So what will happen? It will run the browser test, then it will run the search test, and then it will try to check button is enabled or not. But now we are on the search page, we don't have this button itself there, so the test case will fail, right? So this will also we will see once. See, now you see, we ran 3 test cases. One is the failure, and the here also you will understand, like these two are green and this is showing in blue. So one test case is failed because like this is not valid scenario, because where the button is not present there itself we are checking it. And inside the report how it is being seen is like, see, so the one failed test case is there, which test case is failed and how much time it has taken, and the like error as well. It is showing what error came. Okay. So likewise we see the reports. Now we will see like by adding the priority. Okay, by adding the okay, so sorry, here itself we will see. Now I can add the priority to it. So this is my priority equal to 0, and this is my priority 1, because before search I want to test this Z is enabled button or not. So priority 1, and here I will give priority 2. And now if I run this, see, now all 3 of them passed, because even if the name of this was alphabetically coming last, I have given the priority to this test case. So that's why it ran before the priority to test case. So this way you can do the parameterization, add the priorities and run the test cases. Now we will see another way of sequencing of that. Now it is almost similar kind of test cases, only the thing is that before the main test start I just want to launch the browser, and after this completion of the main test I want to close the browser. So here only one test is there, so you won't understand like much deeper. But if I have one another test, suppose I have at the rate test. Okay. So here I'll just add the assert, and I just want to do the assert true. Like I just want to pass it. So I will add the true. Okay, so now we have two tests. Okay, so what will happen? I have given at the rate before test so that before all the test inside that it will launch the browser. It will execute these two test cases, and after completion of these two, this will terminate the browser. Okay, so now we will see how the at the rate annotations is manipulating it. Okay, see, we had two tests and which has run. Now we go and see the report. Okay, so second test and home page, both of them are passed, and we can see the chronological view by index.html. Open with web browser. See now. So earlier only one test case was there, so we don't know the like execution. So it first launched the browser, it ran the second test case, it ran the verify homepage title, and it ran the terminate browser. So accordingly it executed. So this is like more understandable format. And even if I have ran like put on the second test like after the verify homepage, but why the second test got like executed first? Because both of them have at the rate test annotation, but s comes before v, that's why second test 2 is first. So that is also can be manipulated by the priorities and everything whatever we want to do. So I hope till now you have understand the concepts what I am trying to tell you. Now in the next slide we will see how we can group and how we can execute the parallel execution. So let's understand first why we need grouping. So currently we are executing one or two test cases, so that's fine. Like we can like go and run wherever we want to run and however we want to run. But when it suppose in my framework I have 500 test cases, out of that are like 350 are the regression test, and like 150 are the smoke test. So as I told you at the beginning, what is the regression and what is the smoke? I don't always want to run all 500 test cases. I just want to group them into the smoke and regression or sanity and regression. And I want to run only sanity sometimes, and I want to run only regression sometimes. But I want to keep it into the same files, like inside the same classes or inside some uh, limited number of classes. So that how that can be achieved, only execution of the one type of both of them is also plausible. But if I want to run the one that can be achieved by this at the rate test group tags and run tags, where we can add the include or exclude. Here if I want to run the sanity, I will say the include, or if I don't want to run the sanity, I'll select the exclude. Accordingly we can do that. Also we can achieve the parallel testing. So where the suit I have shown you the suit name tag, there you can just add the thread count and what you want to run the parallelly. So how many test cases you want to run at the same time, like 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that would you become your thread count. And parallel equal to classes means I want to run these many classes parallelly. Even you can add here the methods as well, so that we will see like how can we do the grouping. And before that I'll show you one more thing which has everything, which has at the rate before test, at the rate before method, which has the priority as well, and which has after method and after test, and which has one test method. Okay, so this chronological view will be better to understand. So here what I am doing, I am clicking on the Gmail like I'm going to Google's homepage, then clicking on the Gmail link, then coming back to the Google page, then I am searching some text and going to that search text page, and there I am trying to verify. So first what I did, at inside the before test, I only launched the browser with the URL. Then I have written one before method. So every time before, like even go like after going to the Gmail, before that I want to verify the title, then I am going to the Gmail link. There also I want to I am verifying the title. Then I am coming back to this main Google page and want to verify the title again. Then I want to search something, go to another page. There also I want to verify the title. So after every method, to verify the title, you need to go back to the main page first. So that is I am achieving from the after method. And then inside the after test, like after completion of everything, I want to run the terminate browser. So this is how it got executed. The two main test was the click on Gmail and search test. And I will see the chronological view of this. See how it got executed. It first launched the browser. It verified the Google page title. It clicked on the Gmail. Then it came back to the home page. So when it clicked on the Gmail, it done the operation of whatever you wanted to click on the Gmail, then checking the some verifications. So this is before method, this is after method, this is before method, this is after method, this is main test, and this is before test, and this is after test. So this is how the execution actually took place. It had the two methods, two of them is passed. This is all everything being shown. So what the tests were and everything is there. And along with that, before moving to the grouping, also I want to show you one thing, like how you can execute the test cases from see, yeah, okay, we will see the grouping and then we will see the execution, like multiple test cases execution. Okay, so I have created one test ng class with the grouping test. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests inside that. And I have given the grouping, like launch browser will be always executed. I want it into the sanity as well as the regression. I want to, like browser test, I want to do only with the sanity. Then is button enabled or not, I want to do in the both sanity as well as the regression. And one search test is there, that I want to do only in case of regression. And browser I want to close all time, like for both the cases. Okay, now if I run this file testng.xml. Okay, so here what I have done, inside the suite, inside the test, I have added the group tag. Okay, I have added the group tag, and what I want to run, I just want to include the regression wallet test cases. So now, and see, I have given the name of that class. What is my grouping test? Like package name and then name of that Java class. So if I run it, okay, so only two test cases got passed, means two test cases got executed, or it considered only two test cases. So which two test cases it considered, for which regression tag was there? This button enabled or search? If see button enabled or search, why it is not giving the name of this terminate or the launch browser, even if it has regression? It just because it is at the rate before test or at the rate after test. It's not like at the rate test annotation, so it's not giving that to you. So this way you can include or exclude the test cases. Here I can do the exclude as well and run excluding the regression as well. Here I can put the sanity as well. So if I run the sanity, only sanity related. Now if you see, the browser test and is enabled, has been executed and search is not executed. So this way you can achieve the grouping. Now we will see how can we do the parallel testing. So before that, I want to show you that how can I run the multiple test cases. So inside this suite I have given the 3 test cases, and a suite can have n number of test cases. We currently have limited tests, so that's why we have added 3 only. So if I want to run one by one the every test case from the suite, will these are all we have seen, that's why I am not telling you what is inside that, but I just want to show the flow of execution. See, so inside grouping, first test, ng test, and multiple test, we had 7 at test methods. So it is showing the you have run these many tests. So if you see inside grouping, we had these 3 methods, and first test, ng, we had the browser test. So all of them got executed. And if we see the reports for this, see, as we are going ahead and ahead, you are understanding the importance of grouping, right? So all the things, it is like imageal format of viewing the report. Like someone who don't understand the coding as well can understand the report, like actually saying at it what has been executed and what has been passed and the failed. And we will see that chronological report as well. See, so it had the 2 groups. One of the test case had what all test cases got grouping, first test, ng, multiple test, how it happened. And so this is the report, and which all test has been completed. That is also, this is being shown in here. So I'll just close all the reports. Now, uh, now see, it took like something 24 seconds or something to execute. So this is having only 3 test cases, so we are fine, like it is taking 23 seconds or this. But if we have thousands of test cases and it is taking more than an hour or something, what we can do, where the suite tag is rare, you can add the thread count that I already told you, right? Suppose I first add 2, I want to execute 2 test cases parallelly out of the 3, and accordingly it should. And what I want to do, the parallel, I want classes to run parallel. So here you can add the methods as well, but like it's good to understand with the class plus. Okay, so I run it. Now see the difference, 2 browsers will open at the same time. Like try to execute. See, 2 browsers are running at the same time. Now one is completed. Now again the third test case has been started. 2 are running at the same time. So first test case got completed. Now second and third is running. See, so all 3 got completed. Now it took the lesser time. Now I can do the 3 as well. See, all 3 browsers launched at the same time and it is executing at the same time. Parallel execution is happening. Okay, on the console also you will see browser launched, local connection, like starting of the browser, launching of the browser for every test case. So this is the warning, so that could be avoided. And this is the execution. Okay, so parallel execution comes in picture whenever we want to like save the time. Okay, so this is all about the grouping and parallel execution. Now we will learn about the listeners. So TestNG provides the @listener annotation, which listens to the every event that occurs into the Selenium code as in Selenium test case. Listeners are activated either before the test or after the test case. Listener is basically interface that modifies the TestNG behavior. For example, when you are running the test case either through our Selenium or APM, like when we do the mobile testing, and suddenly test case fails, but we need to understand, like we don't need to debug it, and we just need to understand by the screenshot like why it has been failed. So TestNG provide that mechanism by the listeners, like how can we like your reports can be more modified. Like we till now we were only seeing the like pass fail, like, but we can like tell the Selenium what you want to do, like on failure what you want to do on the success, any message you want to pass on failure, you want to see the screenshot, that logic can be applied there. And there are different type of listeners, all of them I have listed onto the page, but today we will see the main listener that is widely used, that is iTest listener. And this iTest listener basically has the different methods that we can just use, because iTest listener is interface, we can just implement those in our classes. So there is a on test start, like there is a one method called on test start. So inside that you can write when on starting what you want to do, like you can apply your logic there. Then what you want to do on test success, on test failure is there, on test skipped is there, on finish what you want to do, such type of methods are inside their listener. Basically there are WebDriver listeners as well, but we are today learning only the TestNG listeners. And this way TestNG listeners will give you like report extension, basically like till now what you were seeing. Beyond that you can see. So this is also I'll explain, like this classes I'm just writing before, because I just don't want you all guys to waste your time, like here I'm write the code and you just keep on saying okay. So I have written the simple test case where this is my test ng class. Inside that, inside one test method, I am just initializing some integers and printing the sum of them. And another test, I want to explicitly fail that test case. So inside that, I want to fail assert to. For this, I have passed the false. If it is assert to, I should pass true. Then only this test case pass. But I am explicitly failing this. Okay. So this way, but how we can make sure that like test listeners are implemented here is like, if you see at the top there is a one annotation @listener or path of that listener I have given, so that we will also see into the deep. So this is my listener package, and inside that I have one listener testng.java class. So path of that, like Java class path is given here. And what is inside testng listener? So this is actually auto generated code, like not this is I have written on test success what I want to do, or on test failure what I want to do. But whenever you create any class and implement itest listener, you will have all these methods automatically came in to override. So if you know the overriding concept of the Java, so it gives you facility to extend the functionality of method those are already defined in that interface. So I am just extending the functionality of on test failure method. I just want to show this test case is failed and give me the name of that test case result, whatever the result is. From there I don't want to have the name. So accordingly you can add the screenshot logic here, like when test case fail, just give me the screenshot. So currently we have not added here because I just don't want to make it complicated or like bombarding everything at the same time. Just I'm simply giving the name of failed test case. Okay, so now if I run, see, some got passed. Here I'm not launching any browser, if you know, like I'm just giving through test cases, and this is failed test case. So what it has done, if you go to the console, you will understand it printed the sum, but it is giving me the names. But why it is giving me the names? Because I have extended the functionality on test success, give me the name of that test case. So on test success, it is giving me the name of that test method, which is sum. Then on test failed, also give me the name of that failed test case. Accordingly, you can manipulate the reports. And similarly, what is passed and what is failed, the more generic report I am getting here. And why it has been failed, that is also showing here. If you understand the assertion error, it is expecting true but it is false. Along with that, there is another one similar kind of test case I am given, I have created. This is just for, I wanted to show you uh, executing the two of them at the same time, so that's why I have added it. So this is my listeners test ng class. And till currently we ran directly from that class file, right? But I want to run it from the xml if I have multiple test cases. So how can we do that from the listeners? So you can use the listeners tag, and you can give the class name of the listener from the package to class, and then on which classes you want to apply that, or those test classes you can give here. And now if I run it, see, so first of all, it executed this test case, this one, test to pass and test to fail. So failure, which is failed test cases, give me the name, which is pass test cases, give me the name. Also inside another test case, I am calculating the sum. If it is passed, give me the name. Then another test case, I am just printing some text and give me the name of the failed test case. So that is like with the listeners. Also you can do like how you can implement the listeners that we have seen now. So this way, we can do the listeners and manipulation of the report, like what you want to see or what you want to don't see, that is possible. And this report also we will see. See, so failed test cases, why it has been failed, that is also being shown here. And with the index.html, see, listener is giving you the exact track trace as well. Like earlier, if you have understood, it was not giving you the error, like what it was failed, how failed and why failed, everything. So what is passed is also showing, chronological report is showing. So here this is failed, this is passed. Any ignore method is there, that is also. And how much time every test case has taken, any groups were there, no we didn't add the grouping, and how many classes were there. So that is, that way reporting can be made more easier and easier using the test engine. So as a next topic, we are going to see the what is page object model, how we can implement it, and like two examples of the scenario. Okay, so as we continue to leverage the benefits of automation test cases using Selenium, we can see that it often becomes difficult whenever our project grows, so the maintenance becomes difficult. There would be an instance when we use specific web element at different points of your test case. So, for example, you might have to search the different test data for the test case, and we have to refer it by some ID or the XPath field again and again. In such scenarios, you might find that your code is becoming duplicate, that you are using the same piece of code again and again to write the same element, and which is termed as a redundancy. Actually, your code becomes the redundant. Suppose in case if there is any change in such locator, you will have to go through the entire code to make the necessary changes continuously. So page object model comes to the rescue to the solution, so that we can understand like how can we differentiate writing the actual code from writing the elements and actions what we are doing on those, and separating the test cases from the web elements. So we can create the class files considering the each web page. So all the elements from the same web page will lie onto the one class file, and the all the operations being happen on that class file we can write into that, and actual test cases we can separate it. So accordingly we can do that, and we can like reduce the duplicacy of the code from that. And for this strategy we can use the different packages, and inside that we can create the different classes. Now so what is page object model? So if you see in this diagram, I have one website. There is a one login page, there is a one home page, and there is a one actual dashboard page. And I want to write the login test case. So if I am creating the single test class, and inside that only if I am writing the elements as well as the operations, and as well as the verification of test cases, it becomes difficult, right? So if you understand by this diagram, like if I am writing everything in this page, it is like not a, suggested format. But if I am separating the logic, it, looking at the diagram itself, it like it becomes so clear, so the coding again becomes the clear. So that for that, first we will understand the what is page object model. So page object model, for we which we name it as a POM, is a design pattern on framework that we use in Selenium, and using which we can create the object repositories of different web element across the application. To simplify, in the page object framework, we can create the class file for each web page. This class file consists of the different web elements present on that web page, and moreover the test scripts then use these elements to perform the different actions. Okay, and so the diagram is clear. So we will first understand the scenario first, that we want to navigate to some demo website. We need to log into that website, and third we need to verify the title of page that we are logging in, which is a dashboard page. And from the dashboard page you need to log out. Okay, now we will first understand without POM how it works. Okay, see, so test without POM. So everything is written in the same page. Like from initializing the browser, I have defined the elements there. Then I am sending the keys, and then I am clicking everything. So if I execute this, so looking at this class itself, it is like unformatted code. It looks like everything is into the same page. So to show the application, so this is the application. I am putting the username, password, clicking on login button, clicking on logout button. Test is passed, but the code is like everything is into the same page, but same thing I want to do in different manner. So what I have created three Java pages, which is for the one for the login page, one for the home page, and one for the dashboard page. So what is on my home page? So my home page, I have the one element which is the login button, which I have located using the ID, and I want to click on that ID. So so to achieve this, I have just, like whenever we create a class, I have one like I have initialized the WebDriver, and I have created the constructor of this class, and inside that I am initializing the driver and using it again. And similarly onto the login page, on the login page, what I all need, I need the username field, I need the password field, I need the login button. So all of them I have located. I am entering the username, I am entering the password, clicking on the login. Okay, and then on the dashboard page, I just want to verify the title and click on the logout button. So XPaths for both of them, how to get the title and how to click on the login button. Now if I see my test, which is login test, see how easier it looks. I just initialize the browser. I have created the object of every page that is there. And now using that page, I just see, earlier I had to write like first of all like login element locate karo, फिर login karo, like that. But now I just home click login. Then now with the login page, login, just enter the username, enter password, click on login again, login button. Then now on the dashboard post, get the heading and click on logout button. Now understand the scenario, like this is only simple test case, like you are just entering and logging out. But if you want to do the same action again and again from the different test cases, if I add some other test case here and I want to do like login with another ID, then whenever you are doing the without a pom, it your code will again, I need to locate this element to into the same page and try the testing. But in this case it is easy and very simple to do without doing it, like without copying the code again and again. So this is how page object model makes your job easier, and someone, whenever anyone comes new in your project, that person will also understand the logic how it is written. So that's why the page object model has came in picture. Okay. And okay, so we have seen the first scenario. So we have already seen the advantages. It is like coding perspective, it is more readable and maintainable, and you can use the code reusability. So till now I was saying like earlier what we did, we logged in, we entered the username and password, we just logged out. But consider another scenario where you want to log in again with the different or invalid username and password. So in that case, if you are using the without pom functionality, you need to write this space of code again and again below. Before that, now I want to, sorry, now I want to do, what I want to do is I want to pass some invalid username. Here also invalid password I want to pass and test. So same code you have to write again and again. But this can be avoided by using the page object model. So this is all about the page object model. Now in the next section we will see what is Apache Poi. So now as we see, like we need to pass some username and password, right? So this is basically your data, and it is not suggested to keep the data inside the test cases itself. I'm just like removing that what we added now. Okay, so it is suggested to get the data from configuration file, that is called a properties file, or from the Excel file. So but now, as we are dealing with the Selenium and Java, do you know any functionality that can read the data from the Excel? So with the Selenium and Java only it is not possible. So for that we need Apache Poi library, which is basically provided by the Apache Foundation, which helps you to deal with the Microsoft related files, for example, Excel files. So basically, here we are importantly referring to the Excel file. Uh, Consider the scenario that we need to enter the username and password for like 10 users for the same test case. So can you write the 10 users name and passwords in the Java file? No, right? So there is a facility that you can create Excel file. So where you create basically Excel file. So at the start of the project itself, I have shown you the like in the first session itself, I have told you the Maven creates the structure accordingly so that everything can be kept away, like pages can be kept away from the test cases, then data can be kept away, then XML files can be kept away. So inside the resources, I can create a XLS file, which is basically Excel file, and inside that I can have my data added. So how can I do that? So first of all, I'll go to my project explorer. So where is that is also I have shown you earlier where I have kept my project. So inside Lenovo Eclipse Workplace, this is our framework, Selenium framework. So see, this is a Selenium framework. This is here Selenium framework. Then inside that src folder I have two main and test. here also you can see this is the main and test. This is the main, this is the test, and inside that I have Java and the resources. So inside Java, I have these all packages created. You have seen here already. Excel operation, learn, pages, test ng and everything. All these packages are there. But no, I don't want to go to the Java. I want to go to the resources. So here I can right click and create a Excel file and add the data to it and just go and refresh there. So I have created one file. Inside that there are some column names, that is first name, second name, email, gender and the address, and I have given the details for that person accordingly. So two rows I have added. So I will create the file here, close it, save it, and I will come here project and build again so that this file will be visible here. So see how easy it is that, like if I want to test the login with the 10 different usernames, I can directly put the data here. So we are currently not testing it with this test case, but I am just showing you like how what we can achieve by Apache Poi. And how can we download Apache Poi? Similarly, as we downloaded the TestNG dependency from the Maven repository, you can directly go to the Maven repositories link, and there you will see. Okay, we have opened it. So if I search Apache POI, and so topmost dependency I can get from here and put it into the pom.xml. So here I have added two POI dependencies and save it and build the project again. Along with that, there is another way of installation as well. So you can go to the Apache POI official website. There will be one download link given. Um, Okay, so this is Apache Poi. So here you will see that the latest release version link. If you click on that, it will redirect you to the source distribution. So there is a zip file and TZZ file is there. So if you click on this, it will lead you to this page, and from this page, the zip file you can download. This is the zip file. I tried the both ways, so I have zip file as well. So this is my zip file, and I have moved it to my Selenium folder, and I have tried to extract it. So this is yesterday I have downloaded and put it here, and this is how it look like. So inside that you will have the jar files of Py, and that can be imported. So you go to the files, you right click on the project, you click on the build path, configure build path, and into the libraries you can build that. So in the inside Maven dependency, so both way you can do, like adding into the pom. So adding into the pom is basically easiest way. And if you go to this Maven dependency, you will uh, see this is the poi library are added here, all the jars are added here, so that you can use it in your project. Okay, so this is how you can install it. And then what it does, so uh, poi is a medium actually to have to tell the Selenium how to read the data from XLS. And how we can achieve that. So to read the data from XML files, it is providing the different classes. Like we call the Excel as a workbook in the Apache POI's language. So if it is a there are two different formats of the Excel files as well, that .xls and .xlsx. So for both of them, here it is wrong actually, it should be xlsx again. So there are different classes for everything, like how you deal with the Excel files, how we'll deal with the sheets inside the Excel files, how we deal with the rows inside the Excel file, and how you'll deal with the cell. So for that they have provided the classes. So if it is a XLS file, it is HSSF workblues class, then it is HSSF sheet class, and then HSSF row class and HSSF cell class accordingly. For other type of Excel, they have given the different classes. And so when you add the Apache Py, automatically you can use these classes is inside your automation. And along with that, so as we have seen with the test ng, we have different type of annotation. So there are two ways of parameterization of data to the test case. There is a at the rate parameter annotation is there. So with that at the rate parameter annotation, as we have added different tags here, you can use the parameter tag as well, and inside that you can pass the data to the grouping test. But that is limited actually, like only one or two parameters you can pass, because you don't want to like make the XML file too long, right? And the another way of parameterization is using the at the rate data provider annotation. So basically at the rate data provider annotation help us to create the data driven frameworks, so where we need to pass on data to the test cases, and that is basically done by the at the rate data provider annotation. And the declaration of that is basically with this way, like at the rate data provider, wherever you create your data provider, you write this at the rate data provider and you give the name, some name, and in which test case you want to use that there at the rate test, and you give the data provider's name. So accordingly this happen. And what at the rate data provider annotation methods returns you is basically a array of objects. Like if you understand from Excel perspective, so what is the every cell is, so every cell is one array element, and like because it has a column and it has a row, so it is returning the array of object, array of string, you can say that. Now we will see small examples of the like Excel operations, how we are doing it under data.excel. So in this data.excel, I have already shown you, I have put on the some information. Okay. So now in the first test case, I just want to have like first row ka fourth cell. I want to get the value, like what is the address for that. Okay. So it is also simple. I just showing you by using the Java class. So I have created one Java class inside made method. I have given the path of the file which I want to read. So this is the test data.xls. So this is the path. Now this is all the Java logic. These two lines are Java logic. So using the file and file input stream, I am trying to read the file, and then as we have seen into the slides, there are classes for workbook, sheet, row and cell. So I am using those. So using XSSF workbook, I am passing that file reader input stream instance variable to this. Then I am getting the first sheet which has name sheet 1. If you have noticed, this my data dot test dot excel have the name sheet 1, so that name I have passed here. And then from that I want to, like from some row, first row, I want to fetch the value of fourth cell, and I'm storing it into the some string variable and I'm printing it. So this is basically, I'm just showing you the example how you can read the data from the Excel. It is not in test format, but still. So see, inside that, see, this is my first row. So this is my, like this is my zeroth row, this is my first row, this is my second row. So first row say fourth index say I want the address, so this is returning you the address is Swiss. So it is successfully read the data. Also we can read the whole file as well in the similar fashion. So same file object, file input stream, XSSF workbook classes. You just need to iterate through, as it is an array of objects. You can can do the for loop and get all the data. So if I run this now, see, it is giving me all the data. So row 0 data is first name, second name, email, gender, address. So all the column names are given here. Then row 1 data is, I have given the name Thomas Fiddler, the name of email address, then gender and the address of that person. And the second data, I have some name Romita, whose surname is B, her address, her name, her gender, and email address, gender, and the address. So accordingly I can read the all data. So here only we are trying to read the data. So this data can be injected into the test cases as well. So how this can be achieved. So this is here I am just giving the, like, explicitly I have given the data here, not reading from the test data excel, but you can read it inside this file. So just not to make the too much more complicated, so I have done that. So as we were speaking about the data provider annotation, so see, here I have created my the data provider. So you can consider this is the your excel file. This is equal to your excel files data, what we have read excel files data. Now, so this data provider is what it is returning, object of array. So this is all data it has, and now I want to use that data inside my test case. So this is my test method, but how I can do that? So I need to use this word data provider and give the name, which data provider I want to use. So what is the name of this data provider, that I am passing it here, and inside the test method I am pass, like, just here I am just printing it data. So if I run it, so this test method has got all this data by data provider annotation. So if I run this, see, so it has all got all data one, data is data one, data two, data three, everything what is there. So this is basically can be achieved by data provider annotation. So similarly you can have the all the usernames, password, anything input thing you want to pass on, you want to verify the titles. So every data you can put it onto the excel and pass out onto the your test cases. So this example I have shown you. So this way we comes to an end of the session. So today we have learned about TestNG, then page object model, and Apache Py, how we can read the data from the Excel and manipulate the test cases. Now we are open for the question. We have 10 minutes of time remaining. If anyone has any questions, please ask.
Can we use a captcha test by using test engine?
CAPTCHA is not currently supported by the Selenium. It's a bit of difficult. There are actually alternatives to do that, but like not exactly by Selenium you can achieve. There are like temporarily, means it's a hack you can consider, like temporarily they disable the test environments, and then WebDriver weights are like gets added, and that's way they test the test captcha actually. And it needs actually third party tools. Selenium alone cannot do that. Any other question?
Is test engine is only used for a flow of execution stepwise? It is depends on that only.
No, no. As we have seen for the reporting purpose as well, right? So still now we have seen the simple reports, but like if it is like 10 or like one test case with a lot of validation, consider 15 to 20, and if it fails between, you don't understand clearly from the console like why it is fail. So as I said, we can add the screenshots to the report as well, also the loggers as well, so more information related to the every step, so that debugging is easier. For that purpose also testng is used along with the manipulation of the execution. Also parallel testing is also, as I have shown you right today, how to do the parallel testing. So to save the time over the execution, the testng is used. So all those benefits are there with the testng, not only the execution flow.
Is any other frameworks are there in Selenium?
Sorry.
Is any another framework are there other than the test engine?
No, widely used the TestNG only. So with the use of TestNG, we can create the complex frameworks with the TestNG, we see the data-driven framework today, right? So we can have the keyword-driven frameworks, like hybrid frameworks. So that is there. But other than TestNG, currently nothing is there. But the Cucumber, another functionality is there, with which like it makes more and more richer to the Selenium and TestNG. So with the Cucumber also we can actually use the TestNG. It's not like without TestNG it becomes the dealing with it like
Oh,
automation
there
testing.
are.
Okay, so moving towards the end of the session, on behalf of the PHN Technology, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks and appreciation to everyone who made this third session of FTP on automation testing using Java plus Selenium a great success. We are truly grateful to the organizers of this program for their handwork and dedication in putting together an insightful and informative event that provided us valuable knowledge on the topic of this Java plus Selenium. And lastly, we would like to thank all the participants who took time to attend this program, actively engaged in the discussion and activities, and would like to extend our gratefulness and our gratitude towards our trainer, Nishikanta Patil ma'am. Thank you so much for this session, and you shared really a valuable knowledge to us. Thank you so much. Thank you all. And also, I have forwarded the attendance link if anyone has missed to fill the attendance. So kindly fill it out. And yes, thank you so much for the joining. Have a nice day.
For more videos, download our app from Play Store.